Marty from AFTV. I am here with Ella after Arsenal losing 1-0 to Liverpool at Anfield with a really unfortunate result. Ella, we were watching it on a watch along. Please break this down to me. Talk to me about this game.
Like I just said to you, it's actually really, really hard to figure out this game because I am fuming, absolutely fuming with the result. I never expected that we were going to lose today. Anfield is a really tough place to go, but it should never, ever, ever have been a loss. And I just think it comes down to too many things today. It's, first of all, we have to look at the starting 11. I don't know what he's trying. I don't really know why he's trying to be different. You don't have to prove a point to everyone. Why are you not starting the best players that are in each position? Because it seems very obvious to us that, you know, you've just bought a number 10. Okay, maybe Odegaard isn't fit enough to start. Fine. But I can tell you for free that Marino is not a number 10. And ultimately, there was some really, really good football in that first half. And to not come out of that 45 with a goal is criminal. And that's why we didn't win the game. I'm sick of saying it, that, you know, Arsenal not being able to take chances or utilise possession and convert the possession into goals. It is the same stuff. And I want to try and be really level-headed here and not lose it. But we are getting bored of seeing the same things, aren't we? Because how are we not scoring? I'm not going to lie to you, the left wing is still a really, really big problem for me. Martinelli is not good enough to be starting at left wing for Arsenal. End of discussion. Not good enough. Trossard, yeah, a nice option to have on the bench, but also not good enough to start on the left wing for Arsenal. So how is that? And I understand that Eze can play on the left, but I want to see Eze in the 10. I understand that might be difficult when Odegaard is back to full fitness, but how is that not one of the first positions that we really, really strengthen in?
So how would you have set the team up differently? That's what I'm trying to ascertain from you.
Listen, in terms of the back five, I'll kind of break it down. I think Calafiori did have a good first half against Salah, but I still really think that this was Skelly's game. Physically, I just think he would have been the right person in that position. Midfield, Rice, Zubimendi, Eze had to be for me. I thought Zubimendi had a really, really poor second half, and I actually have forgotten what he even did in the first half just because of how bad he was in the second half. When it turns to the front three, listen, I thought Madueke was promising. Gyökeres, again, it's not entirely his fault, but looked a bit nothingy. And Martinelli, so poor. He's just not good enough. Like I don't want to say like Gyökeres has had a really, really bad game, because ultimately it's not entirely his fault when we can't get the ball through the midfield and actually create a serious attack. It's not. You know, you look at City and you look at Haaland. Haaland doesn't. It's not his job to drop back and be the one that's bringing up the ball. His job is for the wingers, for the 10, to be creating chances for him to score, and that is what he does. I'm not saying we have to change the way that we play to suit him, but we have to at least give him some sort of service. Otherwise, he's not going to score goals.
Yeah, I think you break it down very well. Gyökeres looked pretty ostracised at times. For me, Zubimendi in the first half was good. He put some balls in down the right hand, a particular ball in the right hand side to Madueke, which was on a sixpence, and that's what he can do. But obviously, that free kick he gave away for the goal was pretty criminal, because I don't think the challenge he makes was not a challenge to get the ball. It was a challenge to take the player down, and it was in a very dangerous area, as we saw. Obviously, you've got the international break coming up now. So we've got a couple of weeks off of football. So when we get back to our first game against Nottingham Forest, what sort of changes do you want to see? And how do you think the fan base is going to react if those changes are not made?
Listen, I don't want to overreact about this result. Obviously, it's a really poor result that you can't take away from that. But third game in, yes, I really thought that this was a game that we should have won and capitalised on, when I think that this Liverpool side was for the taking, which we saw in the first half and we saw in their last two Premier League games. Okay, we didn't win today. Really poor, but like I said, it's so early on in the season. We can't let this decide the rest of the season for us because it's so early. You know, this isn't to say, oh, Arsenal aren't going to win the league because they lost at Anfield. It's not like that at all. In terms of what I want to see after the international break, I mean, I think Arteta's really got to figure out who's going where. I expect Odegaard obviously to come back where he left off. Eze probably has to start on the left because I cannot see Martinelli or Trossard. I don't want to see it. I think in all the other positions, there's not actually that much that we can change. We've got so many injuries now, which, by the way, that's something we haven't even touched on yet. I don't really understand how we keep getting the amount of injuries that we do. And someone has got to really look into that and understand why that's happening. Something's got to change. Saliba going off in the 4th minute. Obviously, that didn't decide today's result. I thought Mosquera had a really, really good game. A really good game, actually. But it's not ideal to lose the spine of our team. Saliba out. Odegaard obviously went off against Leeds. Yes, he came back and played a bit today. Saka out. It's a bit concerning. And yes, that was why we buy the players that we have, because we need to have a squad and players that can come in when these sorts of players get injured. But it is worrying when you don't have the firepower of Saka's a huge, huge loss. I know it's not all down to him, but it's a really, really big loss. So I just want to see Eze has to start. He has to start every game from now onwards. Odegaard obviously coming back in. Madueke on the right while Saka's out. I don't want to see Martinelli anywhere near the starting 11, I'll be honest.
Well, look, Ella, you break it down really well. Thank you very much for being here and watching it with us on the watch along. Please drop in the comments that you have and how Ella broke it down. Please watch the rest of the fan cams. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you very much for watching. I've been Marty. This has been AFTV. She's been Ella. Over and out.